This past week, the U.S. Department of Justice released its list of sanctuary cities, counties, and states, and of course, Portland and the state of Oregon were on that list. So what does that mean? Well, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the DOJ will continue bringing litigation against sanctuary jurisdictions and work closely with the Department of Homeland Security to eradicate what she calls these harmful policies around the country. Against this backdrop, some local organizations are helping immigrants, including one led by my next guest. Frank So is Executive Director of Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon. One of their programs provides direct support for refugees and immigrants in the community. Mr. So has worked for then Vice President Kamala Harris, advising her on her trips outside the U.S. Before that, he worked for President Obama. He's also been a U.S. diplomat in Latin America, the Caribbean, and Africa, and was a senior mission advisor for USAID, which essentially has been shut down by the Trump administration. Frank So, welcome to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks for having me here, Ken.
What kind of services does Ecumenical Ministries provide to immigrants and refugees?
Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon, over the last really 50 years, has been providing services to many of the immigrants that have come as refugees and immigrants that have come to work and to really contribute to our state. We provide services from food assistance to legal assistance. And at this point, it is our legal assistance that has been flooded with over 100 calls a day. We serve over 2,500 people a year from over 80 countries as part of our SOAR legal program.
Are there any specific countries where you get more of your clients from?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen since the end of the Afghan withdrawal, a lot of Afghans, Ukrainians, people that are coming from conflict countries. They're not coming necessarily always as refugees. They're coming here as family reunifications, temporary protected status, and many are coming as asylum seekers.
In April, the Department of Homeland Security announced that your biannual federal grant of $300,000 that you use to help refugees and immigrants get green cards is canceled. How does that affect you, and will you run out of money for those kinds of services? Absolutely.
So the irony in all of this is that while the government wants to ensure that there's a legal process or that individuals are quote unquote here legally, they've pulled the rug from underneath us. The $300,000 grant that we have been receiving since 2010, both Republican and Democrat administrations, has helped further the ability for people who seek to become citizens and have been doing so with a legal pathway. So the work that we have been doing, that is not just in Portland, Woodburn, all the way down to Southern Oregon, to have these clinics, is exactly what it means to do work for USCIS. That grant, which was canceled, has severe effects on our ability to continue after 2025.
Border Czar Tom Homan has targeted sanctuary cities for deportation of illegal immigrants. He specifically mentioned Portland as a place where he would come to do that. What's the impact of this rhetoric on the immigrants and refugees that you serve? How are they feeling about all this now?
You know, in speaking with many of the immigrants who are either undocumented or are going through a documentation process right now, they truly feel that they have to isolate. They're scared. They're even scared of taking the legal processes that they have to take because the rug, again, could be pulled from underneath them. Showing up for a court appearance may be that they're immediately deported, even without presenting their case. So I think there's just a great amount of fear in the community, and that fear will also translate to immigrants who are here, even people who have green cards who seek to get services from our government, or students who need to go to school, or families who need to access a food pantry.
If you're here illegally, shouldn't you be deported?
So first let me just start with the language. I think that there is no such thing as an illegal person. Second of all, if you have come here, there's many people who have come here with a legal status, and that status has been revoked. In this case, we're looking at 8 countries that this administration has decided to revoke temporary status on for folks that have been here from Nicaragua, from Haiti, from Honduras, from you name it. So I do think if you've committed a crime here in this country, that yeah, there's legal recourse. And in many cases, be it this administration or previous, those individuals that have committed an illegal crime or a crime that has prompted them to to be arrested should be deported. Now, we've got a lot of people here who are not documented, and I believe those individuals that are working in our state and contributing to our economy, paying taxes, there's nothing illegal about that, not at all.
The president's executive order has the title, Protecting Communities from Criminal Aliens. Now, among the people you see, do you know how many do have a criminal background other than being undocumented?
Yeah. So I can say this much, and that is that the families that we serve, we do not look for their criminal record. The individuals who are asking for our assistance, and again, it's over 100 calls a day, who are trying to apply for a process to stay in the United States in a legal fashion, do not have criminal records. If they did, they would not be eligible for those type of assistance from us.
As I mentioned in the intro, you've worked for the prior administration as a diplomat in several parts of the world, including Africa and the Caribbean. How much does that experience inform what you're doing now with Ecumenical Ministries?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 12 years I spent at USAID, I spent really working on a lot of these same issues, migration, human rights. And I can tell you, having that perspective from working abroad, there aren't individuals who are coming to the United States because they know it's easy, because they want to be far from their families. It's quite the contrary. They're fleeing a lot of desperate situations, conflict, war, and to be able to understand that context is really important. And it's also the context of which not just this community, but this country was founded on, is immigrants who've come here for a better life, but also to contribute to making these United States a better place.
Ecumenical Ministries has been around for more than 50 years, the organization here in Oregon. How much longer can you survive under the current political situation without more community support?
Yeah, so I think we have been around for the last 50 years. We've been here from the previous Trump administration, and we've seen some of the harm that was caused by those unjust policies. We will continue to be here. We may not provide the same level of assistance because of the lack of grants and federal support, but we do believe that this community will come through to support the programs that really do matter. And again, I've seen an outpouring of support from some of our foundations in this state. I know this was a tough legislative session, but we've seen some support from the state legislature. We would love to see more. And another way to do so, Ken, is really to look at what can we do to prevent. We can't just react all the time. We helped introduce Senate Bill 703, which unfortunately didn't pass, but maybe in the future we could see that pass. A bill like that would help us assist more people who are eligible to be in a different type of migratory procedure so that they wouldn't be deported. I mean, this could help 25,000 plus undocumented Oregonians who've married a U.S. citizen, who've been here during the Amnesty Act, to be able to access status and not be deported. So we think moving forward, there still is hope for us to do more work to prevent unjust deportations and do the work that Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon has been doing for the last 50 years.
Frank So from Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon, thank you very much for being on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken.